Mm-hmm.
Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 216. 15. I was second guessing myself. I shouldn't have done that. I knew it was 15, but I couldn't remember. Anyway, it's been a long week. Please, cut me some slack. But anyway,
I suppose we could do that.
Much appreciated. Oh, God. Yeah. We are here, as always, to talk comic books, toys, games, wrestling, fun stuff, and all that jazz. As we do every week.
All of it.
All of it. Yeah, my name is Rob. Howdy doody.
Howdy, Rob.
And this is Josh.
Hi, Josh. Or no, I did that wrong.
Say hi, Josh. Hi, Josh. Yeah.
Hello.
Right. So, yeah, how's it going?
Oh man, it is not doing too shabby. It is not going too shabby. Not going too shabby at all. I have pretty much one thing on my mind. As a person who has seen some art and read only the tiniest bit of articles about it, thinking that the premise sounded cool and the art looked amazing. Why don't you tell me what you think about the things that you have seen in Venom: The Last Dance?
Well, I was going to get into that. But you
that's the only thing
you sound like you were going to talk about a comic.
That's that's where I oh god, don't even.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Let's talk happy before we talk about that.
Right. So as for Venom, I still haven't watched Let There Be Carnage. I really liked the first one. I didn't think it was stellar. I thought it was, for lack of a better term, passable as a movie, as a comic book movie. It was okay, but it was enjoyable, right?
Yeah,
had some fun to it. Had some parts that were kind of dull and just like, why are they talking about this? I don't care. But for the most part, I liked it. I was ecstatic about the second one. I never got around to watching it. I heard people shit talking all the time and just like, okay, maybe I can wait.
It's a Sony Marvel movie.
Yeah, which doesn't fill me with joy.
Nobody is gonna, even if it was good, this is something you have to remember though. Even if it's good, people are gonna shit talk it if it comes from Sony.
I honestly though, I think that's justified at this point. A Sony
Madam Web. Yeah. I sat and I'm like, guys, these are, I mean, good to semi-great talent that's in the movie and behind it. Not everybody, but anyway, I championed that movie. I'm like, this has got to be great. Madam Web, there's no way that they could screw it up. Let me tell you.
There's many ways.
This is, Rob, how will I or will I not sludge and trudge through utter shit once I have picked it up?
One question before I answer. I need you to turn your camera on for this. If that's okay.
It is okay.
Because, well, first off, I want to see that beautiful mustache. It's coming in nicely.
Oh,
Secondly, it actually looks really good. It looks good. I like it. You do look like Ned Flanders.
Hey,
And
Leo.
I mean that in a good way. Secondly, I need to like read your facial expressions for this conversation because I want to know. Because I can hear what you say, but then your face also says a second layer, and it's so much more enjoyable. So, what was the question?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, how much have you sludged through shit?
Yeah. If I
lot.
start if I will sludge and trudge through shit just because it started and just because it's comic books, and there's some kind of weird OCD sense of needing to complete it. I turned off Madam Web within 7 minutes of starting that movie. And I have not gone back. I have no plans to go back. The acting, the writing, the shots, literally everything that I saw in that first 7 minutes could have come from a sci-fi channel movie.
Oh, God.
It was that bad. I'll never do it again. But on the other side of that, and that is coming from somebody who enjoyed, never said that they were spectacular movies, but I really dug the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. I really dug Morbius. I liked both of the Venom movies. Again, not spectacular movies, but they were again enjoyable. I found all of those enjoyable. Madam Web was a collection of all of the worst pieces of those movies that didn't make it into the movie, and just squish it all together.
So I'm not going to say you're wrong. I 100% believe you might be right, but like,
so bad.
You only saw 7 minutes though.
Okay, well, here's the thing.
Like,
even
I
if
know
it's
the
a
plot.
blockbuster,
I know the rest of the plot, and if you don't know it, I can tell you some of the key moments that happens that makes me not want to watch it. So 100% you are justified, but I'm just curious how you come to that conclusion having only seen 7 minutes.
The writing, the dialogue, the acting,
everything
about it was, I seriously would have sat down and been more inclined to watch Sharknado 4 than Madam Web if I was shown one and the other.
You should watch Stonehenge Apocalypse instead of that.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's
I don't even know that Sharknado 4 is an actual movie.
Oh, there's Sharknado 6. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure there was 6 Sharknadoes. Let me double check that.
That's insane.
Sharknado film series and movies. Yeah, so Sharknado 2, the second one, Sharknado 3, oh hell no. Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens, Sharknado 5, Global Swarming, and the last Sharknado, It's About Time. I just looked at your face, and this is what I mean by your facial expressions are perfect. The last Sharknado was number 6.
Hey, Rob?
Yes, Josh?
Hold on, man, because I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? AT&T, hello. Josh? Well, this is no fun. Josh seems to be having technical difficulties and cannot hear me. So.
All right.
Can you hear me now? Does not look like you can hear me. I wonder what's going on.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's all good. Cool.
I can hear you the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. All of a sudden, it just went in my ears. I had to reset my sound device. Anyway, so I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Okay, what was the last thing you heard about?
I want to say it was. Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, I checked to see if there were 6 Sharknadoes. See, this is
That's
fun
what it
because I went through the list and then I looked up and you're just like, oh my god, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Facial expressions. This is what I need. But it was like you just couldn't hear a thing I was saying.
Yeah, I was aggravated.
Okay, so
a little bit. Oh, and now my camera's messed up.
Oh, your camera's fine.
Oh, my preview's messed up then. Weird.
Oh, you look just fine on here.
So I'm like waving my hands then?
Yep.
Okay.
As fluid as your mustache. I mean water.
Jesus.
Okay, so there's...
I don't need to see me. That's fine.
There's Sharknado. Sharknado 2. Sharknado 2, the second one. Sharknado 3, oh hell no. Sharknado, the Fourth Awakens. Sharknado 5, Global Swarming. And the last Sharknado, It's About Time. And the last Sharknado,
It's About Time.
Sharknado 6. And Russell XTV, you did not kick my ass. You kicked Adrian's ass. I was left outside of the ring. This guy right here commenting on our Twitch. I played a triple threat with him and a friend of ours. But we did it twice, and both times our friend got pinned. And I was left stunned outside of the ring. I could not do a thing. And he
won
wants
2
to
matches.
tell me that he kicked my ass. I don't think so.
Did he win a match against you?
We didn't play one-on-one. We were going to, but somebody took too long to pick a wrestler. When did you tap me out? You did not tap me out.
There's a war going on.
I would bring up
the
standings on our GM mode, but I don't want to. Because I'm in last place.
I'm assuming...
I just got to last place before we finished our session yesterday. But I'm coming back for second.
Is this a friend of yours or just somebody you happen to play?
He's a friend of mine. A long-time friend. Good friend. My buddy, my Brady. Or
Bree?
Russell. Happy Sailor. Hey, Kirk.
Not a whole lot. Same as always, man. We are just... You have fun too, Russell.
Yep. He's got to go to work.
At work.
Yeah.
Have fun at work.
Oh, you're not doing the night shift again, are you?
I think he's already split.
At work right now. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I'll text him later.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
How's it going with you, Kirk?
Yeah, Mr. Happy Sailor. We're talking... Well, we're supposed to be talking comics, but first we're talking Venom and Sharknado because that's what we fucking do. I don't know why. Why are we talking about Sharknado?
That's how conversations... Because we were talking about Venom. We started talking about Sharknado because we were talking about Venom, which led to me talking about all Sony films, which led me talking about Madam Web, which led me talking about Sharknado, and then you looking up all 78 Sharknado movies. That's what happened here.
I would not be surprised if they make a 7th one day. Because they have money sitting around. They're like, yeah. But I implore you, if you like cheesy, shitty, like C-tier sci-fi movies, Stonehenge Apocalypse is actually really fun. But yeah, I implore, like, check that out. Stars Misha Collins. That's what attracted me to it one Saturday afternoon, flipping through channels, and I saw a movie with Misha Collins. Like, wonder what
Sharknado.
This is. No, the Stonehenge Apocalypse.
Oh, well, Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Yeah.
Every single thing is Sharknado.
Yeah. Oh, Kirk didn't even actually. Oh shit. Okay, so he's not watching. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know it would do that.
Yeah, no, it's linked to our Discord. It's one of the benefits you got. You don't even have to be a part. You don't even have to be watching the show to be a part of the show. You can get in the Discord and just holler at us through our podcast episode channel. Boom.
Yeah, and we will see the chat in front of us on our screen, which is what happened.
Real time.
Yeah. All right, so.
Oops.
Back to Venom. So I haven't watched the second one. I am going to. I want to, but this one does look interesting. Kirk thinks that the surprise reveal in this trailer was already known. Not that I'm aware of, because it's being blown up everywhere, and I don't remember hearing it. Excuse me. But
as far as Venom goes,
in the new trailer, the reveal supposedly of Null, the Necro King, the creator of the symbiotes,
the king of the symbiotes,
the king in black himself. Well, he's also the creator.
Well, yeah, cool. I don't. All I know is headlines, man.
Yeah.
I depend on my pod mates to keep me up to snuff in Marvel. We will
keep you updated for sure, because, and here is the thing. I'm stoked about it. You want to know who is playing Null?
Who?
Jared Leto. Norman Reedus.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
I'm very interested to see what happens. God, no, not Jared Leto. Okay. It's already Morbius in that universe.
I make laugh. I make funny.
Where was I going? Oh yeah. So
I don't know. Where were you?
What ticked me onto the trailer? I didn't realize it at first. I was on the way home, and I got a Twitter alert from Donnie Cates. Posted a picture of the Venom logo backwards, and it says money. And I'm like, okay. And he just said LOL. But, all right, I don't know what the hell this is. But then later on, I got another notification from another creator. I can't remember his fucking name right now, but did the art on. Oh, it was Ryan Stegman. Talking about I didn't know this was happening, didn't get paid, yada yada, and now the whole talk is Ryan Stegman and Donnie Cates getting paid for this movie because Null is in it and it's their creation, and are they getting any royalties from this whatsoever? Because that is
if they had a Bendis contract, then yeah, they should. But you have to be smart enough to have a Bendis contract.
I honestly think that
Joshua Williamson has a Bendis contract.
Any fucking contract should bare minimum have some kind of royalties.
It's not an automatic thing, dude. It's got to be a part of the contract.
I get that, but
Joshua Williamson has the same thing. Like Punchline, Clown Hunter, Ghostmaker, those all have the potential to make him money forever down the line.
Those were Tiny and
or Tynan, excuse me. I kept on saying
Joshua Williamson.
Joshua Williamson.
I don't think any of those are Williamson creations.
No, they're not. None of them. I meant Tynan. Tynan has a Bendis contract. Great googly moogly.
Yeah.
Where if you create it, then it belongs to you.
Yeah.
But most people don't get that.
It's just nuts. There are some.
It is nuts.
Some
I mean, the fucking creators of Superman fucking died broke, man.
Yeah. That's just ridiculous.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I know there are some older creators, like I think Ed Brubaker, when Winter Soldier came out, he did get some money from it, but it was only like $1,000.
$1,000?
Don't quote me. It's been years since I read about that, so I do need to fact check myself on that. But I'm pretty sure he only got $1,000 for Winter Soldier's appearance in that movie. And just Captain America 2. I have no idea about any of his other appearances.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of contract Ed Brubaker has with the big two.
I know that he, that was
like
part of the
creator-owned
contract.
shit.
Like they might have just been nice and threw him a bone. They're like, "Hey, thanks for this. It made us tons of fucking money. Here's like $0.002%." Yeah.
I mean, I know he's a comic book writer, but he's fucking Ed Brubaker. I mean,
right?
Dude, if I ever found out that Ed Brubaker was broke, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah, like, okay, now there's definitely something wrong with the fucking comic industry.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. What can you do? But I'm more so
strongly worded letter to your senator.
Yeah, because they're going to give a shit about comic books. They don't even give a shit about like people. Yeah, but I'm a little more uppity about this one because Donny Cates is involved, and that man's been through the fucking ringer the past couple of years. And if anybody needs it, it's Donny Cates.
So he is involved in it then.
Well, he created Null. He was writing Venom at the time.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he's involved in the movie.
No, but like that's raising a lot of discussion with people online. Like, are these two getting paid by Marvel for, or by Marvel or Sony for their creation being included in the movie? Which is a question that happens every time a major character comes out. A recent character, people start asking, did the creator get any royalties from this? But I imagine this is happening more because of the hellish time Donny Cates has had over the past couple of years. Which I completely get, because Donny, I want to know how the hell Donny Cates is making money. Like, dude was in a nasty car accident, nearly died, and lost like 2 years of his memory, something like that.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember what it is, but quite a bit. And yeah, I hope he's doing all right. And you know, I mean, and I hope that you know, luck would have it that he is able to collect some off of this. But I would say, and you know, I mean, I can't say for sure, but with the kind of books that I've read from Donny Cates, I would almost say that yes, he would totally take the money, give him the money. Who wouldn't? But I think like his biggest thing would be would don't fuck the character up. Yeah.
Which, I'll be honest, so far, like, we only see a couple of brief glimpses of him, and it looks really good. And those brief glimpses look like the first, from what I remember, was the first tease of Null in the comics. Looks like it was ripped out of the fucking page. So that gives me some hope for it.
Right on.
When I see that, I'm like, okay, this has some potential here. Like, I'm interested in this.
So I don't know.
We'll see.
I feel like okay. Anyway, I'm hoping a Sony Universe. I'm hoping a Sony Universe movie will get people to get behind the Sony Universe thing and maybe inspire them to do better jobs instead of just non-stop shitting on it. Just, you know, I'm hoping there's a movie that people will go for, and maybe that'll give Sony something to strive toward.
So Morbius didn't do it, but what didn't help was that when Morbius came out, everybody turned into a fucking meme. And if you remember, Sony was like, oh, everybody's talking about the movie, but you know, it didn't make that much money, so maybe they were just busy that weekend. Let's re-release it. And it did even worse. And then Madam Web came out, and that didn't do well. and Sony probably
That
chalked
was
it up to, well, people are talking too much about, things being woke, so maybe there's just a huge crowd of people that are complaining about things being woke, and that's why they didn't go see it. So that's not a good metric. So I figure Craven might just be the movie to open Sony's eyes, as long as, one, we don't overly meme about it online. Two,
good luck.
We just leave negative reviews. We don't do any sarcasm. We don't do any jokes about it being awesome in like a B movie fashion. We don't do that because Sony does not get sarcasm. They don't understand it. It goes over their fucking heads.
Does not compute.
Goes over it like a Thanksgiving turkey. That's a WKRP reference if anybody is old enough to get what I mean.
Or, if you're from Cincinnati.
I'm happy you get what I mean, Josh.
I'm old enough, dude.
Yeah. And third, don't go see it. Don't go see it, please. I know it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, and whether you hate him or like him, he's got some good talent. I don't know why you would hate him, because I think he's really fucking good. In pretty much every role he's done, I've liked him, that I've seen anyway. I haven't seen everything he's done, but everything I have seen, I really liked. And I know it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, but this movie looks like total garbage.
Craven? Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like
and
Morbius, but in the
like
Serengeti.
Craven. It doesn't sound like Craven.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the details right now,
Well,
but
the premise is Sergei Kravinoff. His dad was a big game hunter, and Sergei wanted to be a big game hunter, but he wasn't listening when he was a kid, so he got attacked by a lion, or maybe it wasn't when he was a kid, but there was this whole big thing with the lion, and then he had some serum put into him, which made him super strong and fast, and then, which I don't remember if that was in the comics, but I think that was ripped out of the animated series, the 90s one. And then he found a lion and it attacked him or something like that. Maybe no, that's what it was. Something to do, like, remember the Halle Berry Catwoman where she died and then cats brought her back to life?
Oh god, yeah.
I think it's something like that. But with a lion instead. I don't remember. I think I actively tried to forget. But the point is, I think he fights against his father, and he wears the lion vest later on, and that's it. And apparently, Rhino's in it as a spliced human.
Oh, that's good.
Like, it's not Alexei with a giant rhino costume. It's right. Alexei turned into a fucking rhino.
So I guess that just means they've made the decision that the two universes will never meet.
Which universes?
Well, the Sony universe and Tobey Maguire. Or not Tobey Maguire.
Andrew
Fuck
Garfield.
me. No, not Andrew. Who's the Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
God damn.
They already did.
Huh?
They already did.
Well, at the end of that, but I mean, we already had a Rhino in Tom Holland.
No.
Yeah, it was in the first movie. He was a bit character.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, in a big ass rhino suit.
Huh?
In a big ass rhino suit, he fought him in the middle of the street.
Okay, no. That was Amazing Spider-Man 2. That was the last minute of the movie.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That wasn't the first Tom Holland one?
No, Tom Holland in the first one fought Vulture, Shocker, and Mac Gargan. before he had the Scorpion suit. He still hasn't fucking got the Scorpion suit. And also technically Prowler. And I guess the Tinkerer. And I feel like there was another one in there somewhere, but I don't remember.
Oh, geez, I got no idea what that feels like.
Yeah, there was... I don't remember any Rhino suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Andrew Garfield one.
But either way, they've, like, anything goes now that they've introduced the multiverse, and Tom Holland has met Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Venom has been in that universe too. Like, anything fucking goes. So even if there was a Rhino in Tom Holland's movie that I'm forgetting, there was also a Rhino in Andrew Garfield's movie, and there's a Rhino in this Kraven the Hunter movie. So they could still mix all the universe. Don't fucking matter.
Yeah, that's... I get... Multiverse didn't cross my mind.
Yeah.
Which... Jeez.
Yeah. As much as it simplified things, it also complicated things.
It's
but
comic books. I should have thought inside the box.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Kraven, and it doesn't look Chris. I'm just hoping that Sony opens their eyes when Kraven comes out, because it still hasn't. It's been 2 fucking years. I thought it had come and gone by now, but apparently they released another trailer or something like 2 months ago, and I saw it and like, wait, this hasn't come out yet?
Oh, like, no.
The first trailer came out a year and a half ago, I'm pretty sure.
I couldn't tell you.
I remember watching it ages ago, and then a new one came out. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this not come out?
Nobody knows.
They keep pushing it back to avoid major releases of other movies, as if that's going to make a difference. And then they're saving it for the Christmas season this year, because that always goes well. So,
oh my god. So all of their movies are dark, right?
I mean...
So release it in the middle of October when no one else is releasing movies.
Yeah. You might make a bit of money on that.
I mean, use your fucking head.
They're not, because they don't realize that no matter what part of the year they put this movie out in, it's not going to do well. They could put it out in the quietest month for movie releases possible, and it will not do well. It does not look fun. It does not look interesting. The plot looks silly, and it's not Kraven the Hunter.
So it's all building toward the Sinister Six that they are obviously 100% going to move forward with.
I don't think they are anymore.
But why are they continuing to build the universe out?
I don't even think they really are trying to. I think they're just making shit.
Well, let me tell you, if Michael Keaton shows up, what the hell?
At the end of Kraven?
Yeah.
Or Morbius?
Or if Michael Craven shows up at the end of... oh, Jesus
Michael
Christ.
Morbius.
If Michael Keaton as Vulture shows up in Kraven, then it's definitely still being unified.
Yes. But at the same time, that whole Michael Keaton showing up at the end of Morbius thing, that never made any sense to begin with.
That was supposed to be the kickoff of getting the Sinister Six together.
But why was he there?
Who?
Michael Keaton's Vulture.
He went there to get Morbius.
But Morbius is from another universe. That's the thing. Like this, that was the big question when Morbius was on the way. They kept like changing things in the trailer because they would show an image of Morbius running through an alleyway, and there was a poster of Spider-Man. He's a menace, but it was a picture of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and it was a big talk of, okay, what universe is he part of? Is he part of Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, or is he in the MCU? Like, where's he? And they were fucking radio silent the whole time about it. Sony was. They never let it on. And even in the movie, Not a single Spider-Man reference. Not a single Avengers reference. No reference at all to the MCU. So it really doesn't feel like it's in the MCU. And then all of a sudden, here's Buddy. Here's the Vulture. And,
right, so obviously he's in that universe.
But they're also like, I don't know, it just feels weird. Maybe he is.
They're continuing to put this team together with a whole bunch of unsuccessful films to make a unified team film of villains that will make a lot of money because everybody's going to go see how bad it is.
Yeah. So if
just my personal opinion there.
If Kraven and Madam Web and Morbius and Black Cat and Silver Sable and El Muerto are all set in the Tom Holland Spider-Man universe, I quit movies.
Black Cat, Silver Sable, and El Muerto, where are those coming from?
They are slated. They
are
announced.
Officially slated.
Yeah, El Muerto. Bad Bunny is cast as El Muerto. Like it's apparently happening. Black Cat and Silver Sable was just talked about as a potential. I have no idea. I haven't heard about that in years, so I don't know if that's still happening. But last I heard, it is.
And El Muerto is a Sony film.
Yes.
Okay.
You know who El Muerto is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So
because most people don't.
he's a dark character. Those are my favorite guy.
Was he really that dark? It was what, like 80s Spider-Man, wasn't he? 70s, something like that.
Yeah.
Had like 2 appearances.
They're going to So Vulture, Morbius, Venom. Let's not throw Venom in there just to see what happens.
No, I don't think Venom's going to be part of any of that.
Vulture, Kraven, El Muerto, and 2 more. And Doc Ock, they cannot make a movie about because I think even Sony knows that would not do well because it would just be boring. You can't do Connor. Wait,
Connor?
Yeah.
Oh, Doc Connors, you mean?
Yeah.
Like the lizard. Oh, okay.
Yeah, can't do the lizard.
Won't stop them from trying.
Maybe Tarantula?
Well, here's the thing. Tarantula was in Madam Web.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He was the villain in that.
Did he get away?
I don't know. I want to say he didn't, because the whole thing is the 4 girls were running from him because he was trying to kill them. He was trying to kill the 3 of them because they're connected to the web, and he knew for some reason that they were going to be spider heroes in the future, so he wanted to kill them before they had a chance. And Madam Web saw the future, and it was Final Destination for superpowers, so she spent the movie trying to keep them away from him. And from what I understand, by the end they killed him, and that's what kept them safe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So no Tarantula then. They can't do Goblin.
They could do Hobgoblin.
Yeah. See, the only version of Hobgoblin I've ever liked. Granted, I have not seen all of them. I couldn't even tell you all of them. But the version that when I think of Hobgoblin, I think of back when Harry Osborn was Hobgoblin in the comics.
Right. I think he was like the 3rd one, if not the 2nd.
And it just feels weird to think of anybody else being Hobgoblin, but I suppose Hobgoblin would work. It's just he's so similar to Green Goblin. So I'm like trying to think of who else might fit. Now, I don't give a shit what anybody says. I think if you did it right, a Silver Sable movie could be sweet.
If it's done right.
because I loved Silver Sable as a character,
Yeah,
and
Silver Sable was
introducing, very, um, and the Silver Six, I think it was no, Silver Sable, and I forget what her team was called right now. But Black Cat would be another cool ass character to introduce to Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I don't know if she fits in the Sony villain universe. Silver Sable could. But I can't think of who the sixth person could be.
I'm gonna put a name out there. And it's a name that hasn't been touched on in a very long time. And as much as he's a Spider-Man villain, he's also technically not, so take it with a grain of sand, if you will.
Okay.
But like I think it could work, again, if done right. I don't know who the fuck would play him. But Hydro Man.
Hydro Man. If they drop the man, I'll get behind it.
That's oddly specific.
Like there's so many because there's so many comic characters that end with man and woman.
You were spoken like a true network exec.
It just
drop the man and sold.
Yep.
Let's call him Hydro.
Yep, just call him Hydro. Just call him Hydro. There's no reason for the man. It's so overdone. It's like Superman, Batman, Aquaman. We are very, very lucky that he wasn't called Flashman.
Yeah.
So many man and woman, and we could just go with a regular name.
Yeah.
Hydro Man just kind of sounds cheesy, doesn't it? A little bit. But you know what? I'd be cool with it. I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
Because he's okay. So like, he's everything that the Sandman can be, but he can do more and go further.
Exactly.
So it's like sweet, because the Sandman, cool character and all, but he's a little boring.
I mean, I think, and honestly, I've been blasted by my friends for this, and a lot of people don't agree with me, but I think Thomas Hayden Church not only did a fantastic job with Sandman in Spider-Man 3, but also was the only good part about that movie. There was the only plot in that, and the only character really that I enjoyed in that fucking movie.
Remind me which
Church
one.
Sandman.
Remind me the villains that were in 3.
So that was, well, it was Venom. There was Harry Osborn as the New Goblin, and there was Sandman, and that was Topher Grace's Venom.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that Venom sucked ass.
Yeah. I like. This is why, I've said for years. I don't know if I've ever said it on this podcast, but I had a theory about it, and I told my friends, and they just said it was dumb. That if you, and I still one day want to do an edit of the movie that takes Venom out. If you take Venom out of that movie completely, that movie gets a million times better. Right? Don't have Venom included, period. And I think that extends to the fact that, as reports go, Sam Raimi did not want to have Venom. He had his trilogy that he wanted to finish with Sandman, and that would complete that story. And then for the 4th movie, he would do Venom. Sony pushed him to do Venom in number 3. So Venom was shoved in there. And it was awkward. And you could tell it was forced. Because it didn't really fit. Because the progression of the story led to Sandman.
It makes me wish... It does make me wish that would have happened. Because I hate Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. I just fucking do.
Not a good casting.
No.
I like Topher Grace. He's not Eddie Brock.
No. But they did Venom right. The only thing that they didn't do right about Venom was his fucking story.
Yeah.
And I want Venom to show up raise hell in like what in my perfect Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe. Go with the finishing up his trilogy, introducing Venom in the very next movie, and
Yeah.
then at the end is when Carnage shows up with Shriek, and Shriek is the biggest part of that movie. Because if anybody can go back and read Maximum Carnage, Shriek was basically the most powerful out of them because she could stop either one of them any fucking time she wanted.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because that was the fucking plan. Apart from Shriek, I don't know about Shriek, but that was the fucking plan. Was that he would have his trilogy, the story would end as it naturally progressed to Sandman and the New Goblin, and that was how his first two movies were pushing towards, was those two characters. And then
Right.
you could have the black costume, maybe that was involved, and by the end of the movie, he gets rid of the black costume and it disappears, and he goes and fights Sandman as big final whatever. Okay, that would have been great. You could have included Eddie Brock in that movie, but you don't have the symbiote go on to Eddie Brock until like post credits or right at the end. And in the fourth movie, that's Venom, and then Carnage is supposed to appear as well. Right? That was the idea. That was the actual fucking idea he had. But Sony forced his hand. And then we were left with Spider-Man 3.
All right, so I do want you to go. I do want you to watch Venom 2
Yeah.
and tell me what you think of it. All right, you guys give me homework all the time. I just gave you some.
Oh, I'm definitely going to. I do hear Woody Harrelson's Carnage is a little odd, but
It's Woody
he's
Harrelson.
supposed to be, right?
Yeah. It's supposed to be psychotic.
Yeah. So
Psychotic and demented.
yeah. So we'll see. I'll watch that probably tomorrow. I'll check it out. Oh yeah, no. The problem was I was supposed to watch it with my wife. I would never get time to watch a full movie. So.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'll ask her if I can just watch it. I'm sure she'll be okay with it, but that's not for here. Yeah, that's the thing. But also, Absolute Batman preview pages came out. We will save that discussion for next week when Brandon is back. He did say to us earlier this week that he will be back this week after having moved to New York City, but then he's having internet issues. The guy to come out and hook it all up had to reschedule, or they didn't get his payment. Like, I don't freaking know. He's having a lot of issues with internet right now. The guy's not coming till tomorrow, so he's not able to join us this week, but he will be here next week. Kind of fitting that they delayed Outsiders a week, so now Outsiders number 11 will be next week, just in time for Brandon to come back and we can enjoy that finale together. But we will talk about Absolute Batman next week when Brandon is here, and we can get all three of us talking about this exciting new adventure in DC Comics.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
And until then, Freddy flies, Bane defies, Batfamily ties, and love reigns supreme. This episode, we are talking about Absolute Task Force number 7, Absolute Task Force 7, number 6. Batman and Robin 13, Shazam number 15, Green Lantern number 15, and I will break down some honorable mentions. Primer, Clashing Colors number 3, Nightwing Uncovered number 1, DC versus Vampires World War V number 2, Batman 89 Echoes number 4, From the DC Vault Death in the Family Robin Lives number 3, and Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age number 4. You hang with us. We're going to take a real quick break for our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Hi, sponsors.
Told you.
Hey.
Hey. How's it going?
Hey. All right, so shall you get into the honorable mentions?
I can do that. Let me just take a minute to run through all of them real quick. Primer Clashing Colors number 3. Reading this series has actually made me want to have Primer in the main universe alongside the Titans. It's for younger readers, this series is, but it's pretty good. It does have her with the Titans, and it makes for a good story. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Nightwing Uncovered, number 1. It's a collection of covers. Bruno Redondo, baby, yum. With a little story from Dick, Babs, and Hailey explaining why we're looking at covers. I gave that a 9 out of 10. Probably could have gone higher. It was awesome. It's just art, but I mean, if you've looked at those, geez. Let's see. Next up, DC versus Vampires World War V number 2. Will I ever get Vampires Fatigue? I can't tell. I don't have it yet. Good stuff, really good stuff. What is going on is insane. 8 out of 10. Batman 89 Echoes number 4. I bet Rob still isn't reading this, and that's still a mistake. 8.25 out of 10.
I will get there.
Mm-hmm. Just like you'll... Oh, fuck. I forgot what movie that was. Anyway, from the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives number 3. For something I was pretty sure was going to stink to the mountaintops, I've actually been really impressed with this series. It feels like you're back in that time. The story is done really well, carrying it that way. I would have easily enjoyed it if this was the story that we got, but then we wouldn't have had Red Hood, so yeah, I'm still glad he died. Anyway, this is good stuff. 8 out of 10. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age number 4. This book is nuts, but in a very, very good way. What they did with the Lantern in this issue, it was so cool. And now I've got so many questions. I need more of this book. I wish it was weekly. 8.5 out of 10. And that is all of the honorables worth mentioning.
Right on. And yeah, so I guess with that, we can just jump into our books for the week, right?
I have the power to give a review. Absolute Power Task Force 7 number 6. Written by Stephanie Williams. Art by Carrie Randolph. Colors by Alex Gamarez. Letters from Dave Sharp. And a cover by Pete Woods. So this is a really quick one to tell you about. Waller sends her Wonder Mazo to Themyscira to teach the Amazons a lesson for hiding people out. That's not the only mission objective, though. As the Amazons try and fail to stop Wonder Mazo, its real purpose is shown. It's there to drain the powers from the soul of Wells as well. But metas that have passed to the other side. Jet, Phantom Lady, Blue Ice, Fury, Firebrand, Mindboggler, and Wisperia. Wonder Mazo extracts all of those energies, or all of their energies, from the Well of Souls, turns around, and then blows the whole damn thing up. While that goes on, Trevor gets busted. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. He gets busted snooping. As he's making his escape, he runs into Diana and Damien. Some stuff happened. It wasn't bad stuff. I feel like... Oh, that was it. That was the end of the book. I feel like with both art and story, this is a bit better than average. It moved the story along okay, made sure the Amazons continued to be acknowledged. Other than that, there's not a lot to say about what really happened. Other than I'm pretty sure Artemis would have put up a better fight than that. But I wasn't overly impressed with this issue, so I am going to be giving it a 6.75 out of 10.
So when I started to read it, Oh, there it is. So I was looking for the creative team for Batman and Robin. Could not find it for the life of me. So when I started to read it, I was like, "Oh my god, do I have to continue?" Actually, like, I'll be honest. I checked our list of books to see who was covering it, and when I saw your name, I was like, "Oh, thank God." I'm gonna be honest, because I was the first 3 pages I had to reread like 4 times because I just could not focus on the story leading into it. Like, I don't fucking care. This is so. Then it got the story going, and we got to. I don't even know what this Amazo's called.
Wonder Mazo. That's what I'm calling
Wonder
it.
Mazo. Unless the name is Paradise Lost, and that's a bit of a mouthful.
That is the name.
That's the name, Paradise
Lost. That is
Lost?
the name. Yep, I completely forgot.
Interesting.
Yep, it's Paradise Lost.
Okay. So in Paradise Lost, found paradise, and started killing people. Then it started to pick up, and I felt bad for a lot of Amazonians that lost their lives to a murderous, like, asshole robot. But it happens in comic books.
What are you gonna do?
It just it felt a little dull still, to a certain degree. Like, the action was fun, the action was interesting, and taking the abilities from metahuman souls, that was a nice twist. Even though I don't think it works like that, but I don't know enough about it to understand, so to dispute it. So
I don't think you're right either. You know what needs to happen? They need to
figure it out. Fucking figure it
out. They need to fucking figure it out. But yeah, it was by the end. I don't even remember how it ended.
It ended with Steve escaping, getting found out by Waller, and then running into Diana and Damian at the end of it.
Right. So that I out of all of these issues, it's like they're hit or miss for the actual Amazo part. The only part I'm actually interested in is the Steve Trevor story, because that's actually giving us fucking plot. That's giving us substance, and it's telling a story of Steve Trevor, who, I'll be honest, is a character I've enjoyed, and it's giving him something interesting to do. And we're getting to see a bit of the machinations of Amanda Waller, which, even in the main series, we're not really seeing much. It's Amanda Waller coming in, saying, "Y'all got to do this now. You suck. Do this," and that's it. There's no actual look at Amanda Waller. I haven't been reading Absolute Power Origins, but I don't necessarily, like, from what I understand, if you know, if you can correct me, Josh, I don't think that's really telling anybody what her plans are right now.
No, I don't think so yet either.
So that's what I ultimately care about. And when it comes to this book, that's the part that I care about most. Is the Steve Trevor story, because it's telling us what Amanda's plans are. Slowly, but surely.
Well, not anymore, because he's not there anymore.
I mean, he's still there, but, like, we know she's got a portal to the multiverse, and she's working with the Suicide Squad, not the Crime Syndicate. Right? Yeah. Tell us how you really feel. It also confirmed to us that War for Earth 3 is still canon.
Boo.
Cue that horn again, please.
Yeah. Hold on. It's like, okay. Followed by... And then...
Fucking figure it out.
fucking embarrassing!
And I call that a...
fatality.
Wow. Wow.
You're welcome.
You made this sound like a shock radio show.
Oops. I did not mean to do that.
That's okay. It's justified.
Oh, damn it. I used to have a justified sound wave. Went justified.
But basically, the art was okay. The art was good. The story was okay. I'll give it a 7. It had some interesting points, but ultimately, if you're reading the Task Force 7 series,
Yeah,
it's skippable.
There's nothing really happens in it whatsoever.
No. Paradise Lost gains more powers, kills some Amazons, and dips.
The Well of Souls gets destroyed.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not really telling many stories about Nubia and Themyscira, so what does that really mean for us? Because let's face it, next time we see Themyscira, they're going to mention it, and then 2 times after that, oh, we rebuilt the Well of Souls. It took all the magical users we could find, but they did it, and it's going to be fucking pointless. Like,
we had to kill the last 3 unicorn.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give it a 7. It was okay.
It was okay.
It's fucking 6.5.
Oh,
I don't feel like being nice today.
I'm gonna be a jerk Canadian.
Yeah.
I don't even know you had it in you.
6.5 for Task Force 7 number 6.
Wow. Very unified.
Yes. So that's that. And I can't wait to see what the last one has, which is going to be the Martian Manhunter robot.
Oh, yeah, that is what we've got left, isn't it?
Which, by the way, and I'm going to point this out, so we're near the end of Absolute Power. In all the previews, when they had a lineup of the original 7 Justice League and their new outfits for Task Force, or for Absolute Power, in their new like armor and uniforms and whatnot, including Hal Jordan in just a fucking bomber jacket, because that's unique, I guess. They did show Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
They show John, but John, as of yet, has not actually shown up in this story, as far as I remember, as far as I know, at all. So, where the fuck is he?
Why do I feel like... Why do I feel like you're wrong? I might be getting something jumbled up. Something jumbled up.
I haven't read Absolute Power Origins, but again, that's a story that takes place in the past.
That was just about Waller.
Yeah. And I still have to, I'll be honest, read the last issue of Wonder Woman. Which I really should. Yeah. So unless he showed up in that, like, I don't remember seeing it.
I mean, I can't say I feel like I remember somebody going into a room and him being in there. But again, like, bad memory, and I've been displaying a lot of that today. I think you've corrected me on like 4 things already before our commercial.
That's okay.
Which comes really early.
We will see.
Oh yeah,
what will we see? Well, next issue anyway of Task Force 7. But we will also see Batman and Robin together again. Here's number 13. This is the last issue of this creative team. New creative team in number 14. And the creative team for this issue is written by Joshua Williamson with art and colors from Juan Ferreira and letters from Steve Wands, with the cover you see before you from Simone DeMeo. So the story picks up where we left off last issue on Dinosaur Island. I nearly called it fucking Savage Land.
Lazarus Island.
No, this is
Dinosaur Island. My bad.
Island,
yeah.
Robin has been infected with the new experimental venom thanks to Vengeance, and he's about ready to break Bane into two pieces, starting with the spine or the neck. One of the two. Maybe both at the same time. I think he can fit them in his hands. He's big enough now.
For sure.
Vengeance then threatens to shoot Batman with it as well, after Batman says that me and Robin and I, we fought before and we'll never fight again. And sure enough, they do not. But then Bane grabs the rifle out of Vengeance's hands and breaks it, as he reveals that after everything he's done to them, he needs to atone for what he's done. He needs to pay for his sins. And after he helps Batman with his son, they can both take him to Gotham in chains. But then the Cobra Cult arrives with dinosaurs and lots of weapons, and then they all take the fight straight to the Cobra Cult and beat the shit out of them. Meanwhile, Maya has shown up with the Batplane, has Batman sent her back to the Batplane to get the anti-venom, but she decided to bring the whole fucking plane and shoots Damian with the anti-venom from the plane, which reverts him back to normal. And they have a nice father-son moment where Damian is slowly, painfully coming out of the venom, and Bruce takes off his cowl to reveal his own face as Damian's father. And as father and son, they are there.
We do it all.
Yeah, father helping son through a painful moment. And it was so nice to see. Then a raptor jumps out of them, and then Bane punches it in the schnoz, stopping it. And then that fight has currently ended. Bane then reveals that he helps Vengeance escape, as he says, "I'm sure you understand." Then they all return to Gotham. This was all backdropped from various pages of Damian talking with a new guidance counselor at his high school, who was there talking to all the students after the events of the first story arc with Principal Stone, and everything going on there. So this new guidance counselor wants to make sure all the students are okay, and it's Damian's turn to chat, and they just have a chat about Damian and his father and who Damian is. And at the end, Damian comes to a bit of a revelation about himself. And we have a little epilogue. He's in his bedroom at night, doodling on his pad. Just writes the words, "I am," when Bruce comes in and they have a little chat about what's happened. Bane is secure in Blackgates. The Cobra Cult made a fast retreat from the island, but he did pick up a bit of chatter about their next orders, which you will see in the pages of JSA starting next month. And Maya, aka Nobody, took Goliath to Lazarus Island to protect it until Damian is able to return, as he has plans for it. But the two of them now have a night to themselves, as Bruce says we could watch a movie, go to dinner or something, and Damian saying, "Why don't we see what the rest of the family's up to?" But then Bruce gets an alert that the terrible trio are back on the streets, and the two of them head out together as father and son, Batman and Robin, to fight crime yet again. And then we get a little glimpse at Damian's doodle pad, and where he wrote "I am," he finished it with "loved," and had a pencil drawing of all the people in his life that loves him most. And it was just really fucking nice. Yeah. Next issue, DC All In, new creative team, new story, same Batman and Robin. As it goes. As far as I know. I mean, I don't know that Bruce and Damian are going to change roles in the next month. It most likely will be Bruce and Damian going forward.
Well, right.
So, yeah. At least for issue 14. Yeah, so this, like, the ending, reading it back again, maybe a little rushed, but it did kind of, with the story we had so far, it did kind of guide itself to that. And I would have been surprised if there was another twist. Another twist probably would have put it over the edge for me, and not in a good way. Um, just Bane was already showing signs of remorse throughout this story arc, and vengeance being vengeance was being vengeance. But Bane helping his daughter and saying that's Batman, you're helping your son, I'm helping my daughter, I'm willing to come with you, I'm sure you understand. Like that, I get that. That was nice. And Bruce and Damian having such amazing father-son moments in this issue was beautiful to see. Bane coming willingly to atone for his sins and face justice. He knows what he did was wrong. I don't remember what it was about that made him come to that term. Oh no, it was Damian kicking his ass. That's what it was. Yeah, but like he knows what he did was wrong, and he's a changed man for now. I liked that, and it brought some closure to a lot of shit. It closed a lot of fucking plot holes. Not really plot holes, just plot stories, plot threads. And all on the backdrop of Damian having another step of growth. And this is the thing that I've liked about Williamson writing Damian over the past 4 years, was he helped Damian grow. He brought Damian through his adolescence from that 10-year-old, like, know-it-all, I'm the leader, you're just going to listen to what I say, kind of kid, to he's now 13, 14, maybe 15. He's a teenager, he's older, he's wiser, and he's basically gone through puberty. Williamson put Damian through puberty. He's got friends, he's got family, he's got a life, he's finding his skills that don't involve combat, and it's really nice to see. And if this is how Williamson leaves off Damian, I think he left him off in a good place, and I hope other writers pick up where he left off. That Damian has grown up a bit. We don't need Damian to be that annoying little kid anymore. He's a teenager, he's wiser, and he's not going to be so cocky anymore. He's a little friendlier now, and I appreciate that. And for the love of God, whoever was drawing him in Lazarus Planet, don't draw him as a 22-year-old anymore. Yeah, I just really liked this issue. I thought it was nice, with the emotional backdrop of it all. It felt like an end for Williamson writing Damian. This was Williamson's send-off for writing Damian and helping him grow over the past few years. So for that, I will give it, honestly, 8.75 is fair. 8.75 out of 10.
8.75, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't exactly quite feel the exact same way.
I get that. You haven't really liked Williamson's Robin much over the past few years.
No, just the storylines. As far as this one goes, man, lucky number 13. I'm on the exact opposite of it. It's great when comics are able to evoke emotions. It's not great when all they're trying to do is evoke emotion. It's flat. The only thing that we've had from this is fan servicing father-son moments, because that's what people will gobble up, like Rob. I've only enjoyed the art in this.
Service. I just loved it.
And I am all in on getting a new creative team. Yeah. Hopefully it's a good one. I can't remember who it is right now. That's all I can really say right now. It felt like a weak ending. Vengeance is going to go back into the ether. Bane will no longer be showing up. Goliath disappears. Maya disappears. Literally nothing has changed, except I guess now Bane is in jail, but that's not much different than just not being in a book. 6 out of 10.
Damian changed. That's the difference.
He stopped saying tss.
He
Rob.
grew up. He grew up.
He stopped saying tss.
Yeah. That's one.
It took him 4 years to stop saying tss.
Yeah. Eh.
That's the bottom line, because I just said so.
I'm sorry, are you stone cold?
No.
It doesn't matter who you are.
All right. So we don't exactly see eye to eye on Batman and Robin.
What else is
Sin, but that's I'm always on the losing side of that argument.
That's common. I wouldn't say losing. It's just.
Well, usually it's you and Brandon teaming up on me. So
that's because we both like it. I mean, I will say this: like for Batman and Robin, I didn't like the whole run. If you remember, right? For Robin, I liked the whole run. For Batman and Robin, it was a little different because I did not give two shits about the Man-Bat shit. I cared about the rest. Yeah, I couldn't. I was waiting for that to end.
Or that fucking Deathstroke storyline that turned out to be fucking Geoforce. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, fun times. Just a big bag of doo-doo. If I had magic powers, I'd go back and change it, though. And I don't. Neither does my Uncle Dudley, but Mary and Billy do. And maybe
cover.
That's not all.
What a fucking cover, though.
It is.
That looks like a classic cover.
cover.
When I say classic, I mean like 90s, 80s, 90s kind of cover.
Not exactly classic, but yeah, no. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like, that was 30, 40 years ago, so.
Oh, God. Thanks. Thanks for reminding me of that, Rob.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, 30, 40 years ago, when we said classic covers, we meant the beginning of comics. Because that was also 30, 40 years prior to that.
It's not making me feel any younger. All right, written by
not
Josie.
Trying to.
I didn't think you were, you dick. Written by Josie Gamble, art from Emanuela Lupacino, Trish Mulvihill colors, and lettering by Troy Pateri, with a cover by Gleb Melnikoff, and a pretty darn good one if you can see it there on your screen, unless you're unlucky and listening on Spotify. But kicking off, Shazam number 15. We are still fighting the Submen, getting more info about them. Where Billy thought he was pulled into the Rock of Eternity, he was actually pulled into one of Zeus's memories of when he had to kill his father Kronos, when he was just a little kid. The conversation is a good one. It's centering on Billy believing that he deserves the powers, and it's because he knows pain and defeat, and he still fights through it. While that's going on, Mary Marvel is up top above ground trying to save Philadelphia from the monstrous submen that are swarming all over the place. When Billy and the captain rejoin, they fly straight to Mary to help. They start to see eye to eye. I guess I should have said that first. It's revealed that older captain, as they were split, is actually nothing more than an older Billy, who has more wisdom and experience. Basically, that's all there is. So anyway. So Billy and Captain are rejoined now. They're the same person again. So they fly straight to Mary to help out. Now, while all of that is going on... While all of that is going on, Freddy was still walking around being nosy in the artifacts room. And that's where he finds this glowing green thing that looks like a really, really squat, like super short and wide lightning bolt. Just sitting there glowing. Now, as Billy and Mary are fighting the leader of the Submen, Freddy flies up through the street, knocking him aside. Freddy has his powers back, apparently. A bit of an updated costume with the glowing green lightning bolt in the center, and his lightning is green as well. But where did those powers come from? We don't know, other than a short, fat lightning bolt.
I have a feeling.
I have a feeling. What's your feeling?
Well, when I read it, I was thinking that's a dope-ass costume, but also the shape of the outer lightning bolt looks very familiar. And I couldn't quite place it until just now. Because all I could think of was that this looks like Airwave, right? Like Airwave's costume. Like that doesn't make sense. And then I remember something else. And while I was just thinking about it, like, let me fact check this really quick before I say this and make a fool of myself.
All right. Well, you do that. I'll finish up giving my piece about Shazam here. I think it was pretty good. A good way to wrap up and push things forward. I like the way Shazam is being handled here. Josie Campbell's doing an awesome job. And I like the way the art looks, man. It's just great. I'm not even really sure what to say or even think about Freddy getting his powers back yet. I don't know enough. What I do know is that for this one, I have to give it an 8.10 or an 8 out of 10. Jeez. I have been enjoying this title since Campbell took over. It has just been great. How are you doing there with your fact checking?
Yeah,
Mr.
I think
Rob?
I'm wrong. I was thinking like the shape of the outer lightning bolt was very reminiscent of Osiris. But no. It's not quite the same. So I was thinking like I was thinking right away this has got to be Black Adam related, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I can't help but think so they've differentiated. So the captain has his powers from the Greek Parthenon.
Yes.
Mary has her powers from the Themyscirans.
Yes.
So there are any number of ancient civilizations that have famous religions. It could be the Romans. It could be the Nords. It could be Druids. There could be all kinds of different possibilities where he's getting that. But I, for one, my thing is I think that it is a different kind of pantheon.
Alien.
What do you think? An alien?
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. Could be aliens. Who knows? Alien gods. Now, wouldn't that be fucked up?
It's Thanagarians.
Oh my God! No, it's not. No,
Power
it's
of
not.
Exile.
It's green, dude.
Yeah.
It's the
Martians?
pantheon of Ra, or Rao. Excuse me.
Rao.
Yeah,
It could be.
that's Kryptonian lightning. Wouldn't that be neat?
That would be.
That would be fucking sick, dude.
What if it's Martian?
I don't know shit about any of the Martian god stuff, so I don't know.
Well, there's
But
Prodmir.
I'd be down.
That's all I know.
Well, that's like twice more than me.
I know there's Prodmir from Mars, there's Exile from Tamaran, and Rao from Krypton. Those are the gods I know. These are the gods I know. These are the gods I know. For any fans of Kids in the Hall,
Right?
you get that. I don't know why that popped into my head.
Why not? Because it fit. That's why.
I fucking love that song.
Though
I
I,
don't know,
will
we'll see.
say that I was not prepared to see as much of their dicks as I did in the comeback.
I was thinking, are we still talking about Shazam? What?
No,
you see?
no, not still talking about Shazam. Talking about Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, the sequel on Amazon
Has a lot of dicks.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a lot, but like
when they show up, they're there for a minute.
Yeah. My sister warned me in advance, like, just so you know, first few minutes, you see Dave Foley's nuts. Like, what?
Yeah. Never thought I was ever going to see Dave Foley's nuts.
Yeah, just to be prepared.
Just
I don't want you to get like
Foley junk is going to happen.
Yeah. Thank God it was not Mick. It was Dave, not Mick.
I feel like that sounds like a little bit of disappointment on your part.
Well, I mean, if I had to pick between the two, I'd rather see Dave's.
All right.
Because I don't know what the hell has happened to Mix, because I know what he did to himself. But at the same time, just out of scientific curiosity, I know what he did to himself. I've seen his ears. I've seen his tooth come out of his lip. I can only imagine how his junk looks.
Right. He's like, he's got 4 tiny balls.
Yeah.
Each one has been split in half twice. Sounds like Christmas when he runs.
Oh my God. There was, oh my God, that just reminded me. What the hell was it? There was
I don't know.
a bit in some kind of show, and I don't remember what the show was, about a guy who had both testicles replaced with ball bearings, and when he walked, they'd clang together.
Wow. Why would you do that?
Well, it was the only way, and I don't remember what the fuck it was.
The only way of what?
To, like, survive or something, I don't know.
To replace it with ball bearings?
Let me just...
I feel like there's other materials that could have been used, man. I mean, I'm just saying.
That's gonna bug me now. Yeah. Tip of my tongue subreddit. This is exactly it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yeah.
Rob, you're making Reddit noises.
It's C Spot Run.
Okay.
With David Arquette from 2001. That was the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy, I guess. I think his balls got bit off by the dog. And by the end, like, he got replaced with them with ball bearings, and that's... Now when he walks, they clank to that. Yeah, that's... Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was a shitty movie. The point is, Shazam was interesting.
Dingly balls aside,
Stop
the man
talking
in the
about
cape was cool.
Metal testicles. Yeah, if that's not a band name, I don't know what is. Metal testicles? Come on.
Metal testicles.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yes. And then I want them to play folk rock.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Shazam was good. I liked it. I had a feeling fucking, oh my God, what's his name? Freddy was going to get his powers back eventually, and was like, they've only been talking about it for 15 issues, how Freddy wants his powers back, and it's been 15 issues. I'm not surprised it's happening now, especially with the way the story arc has been going. There's been a lot of his narration being about finding power and being a hero, and they've been really pushing it, and I'm happy it's happening. This even more so the fact that we have the Captain, we have Mary Marvel, and now Freddy's got his powers back, and it's the original trio Shazamly. It only stands to see if Pedro, Darla, and Eugene will also get their powers.
Man, I hope so.
Would be cool.
They all need good names.
Yeah.
Because that leads us to one thing. Even if they do not get their powers back, Freddy has, and he obviously can't go by Captain Marvel Jr. anymore.
No.
And I mean, he transforms and he gets buff and he gets older. Captain Marvel Jr. was just a horrible name to begin with. And he obviously, I mean, he's gonna need a new name. He can't be Freddy. He can't be Captain Marvel Jr.
I mean, he could. Like, there's nothing stopping DC from using that name. They just decide
it's
not
just
to.
dumb.
It is dumb, but like they're definitely going back to classic roots. Like they have Mary's going by Mary Marvel. They have Uncle Dudley back. Right? They have Tawny Tiger back. They had the original trio of Shazamly have all their powers back to a certain extent. Right? So I would not be surprised if next issue he says, "Call me Captain Marvel Jr." or something. I don't know. It'd be really dumb. But maybe he'll just go by Freddy Marvel.
I hope not. I mean, it seems like that's just not a good... I mean, you know, I'm not a superhero or anything, but I feel like if you're trying to keep your identity a secret, maybe, and this is just me spitballing here, don't put your name in it.
But that's the best way, because who would ever suspect that you'd be that stupid?
Who would ever suspect Tim Drake not being Drake?
Yeah, like, there's no way his name is actually Drake, right? There's no fucking way.
Definitely comic book logic going on.
Yeah. But I digress. I figured it out. Captain Junior. Which
say that one more time.
Still dumb, but
what did you say?
Best of the dumb options. Captain Junior.
Captain Junior. Why not Corporal or Major or Lieutenant?
Lieutenant Junior.
No Junior.
We'll see. We'll find out in a month from now in issue 16. But all in all, it was an interesting story. That whole plot with Billy and the Captain kind of fighting each other, and Billy getting that talk from Zeus of all people, and them fighting each other and accepting each other, and Billy realizing that the Captain is really just his older self. The Captain's not really a separate person. It's just Billy grown up. Yep. It was really nice to see.
I thought it was pretty cool twist on that.
It was really well done. I mean, I always figured like that was the whole point, was like, this is Billy grown up. I don't think the Captain was ever another personality. Right? He was never his own person. It was Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
was
this was
adult Billy. Right?
Well, I mean, it was a big Billy.
Yeah.
You know, it's never been specifically said that this is Billy as he's older, like a time traveling transformation.
Well, not time traveling, but like he has an adult body. But like this is how Billy will look.
Right, but it's also
years from now.
He is also older Billy, as it was explained to him that he isn't necessarily smarter, but he does have more experience and he does have more wisdom because of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is literally older Billy. It's not just bigger body Billy, which that's how I've always taken it.
I think that's how it used to be. I think that's how it always
I think so too. I like this direction. This is
that's
cool.
a nice little touch.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I've warmed up to the Captain. I've warmed up to Captain. Even though I think like the third name change was unnecessary. You know, could have still been Shazam.
I mean,
I get it. I guess it's like you don't want to. Yeah, it's like don't say his name.
Yeah,
But
he can't. It's like people say, "Who are you?" He can't say, "I'm shit." he can't say his name.
I'm Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam. I think that would still.
Shazam.
I don't think there's a loophole there. I think that would still work.
Well, damn it.
Like, let's face it. We're reading the word. Everybody just thinks he's saying Shazam, but maybe he is just saying Shazam. We don't know how it's pronounced in the story.
And that's not true. You've never seen Mayberry.
I don't even know who that
or
is.
The Andy Griffith Show.
Was there Billy Batson on the Andy Griffith Show?
No, but the word Shazam was frequently used on it. It went Shazam, Shazam,
Yeah.
Shazam.
Shazam on that show. But
have you ever heard of it any other place?
This could be pronounced differently.
Nope. I think Mayberry is a suburb of Philadelphia in the comic book universe. No?
I don't know.
I'm going with it.
Did he maybe get it from the comic? Because Shazam's been going since, like,
it's
early 40s.
Definitely a
isn't it?
possibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. But end of the day, like, he can't, like, go to people and say, "Hi, I'm Shazam."
Nope, he sure can't. So, like I said, I've warmed up to calling him the captain. Mary Marvel makes sense. It works. I just really need him to not have Junior in his name.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen.
That's absolutely crazy, bro. It's absolute nuts.
What could you do? End of the day, though, I'm going to give this book an 8.75.
Right on. Good deal. Good deal.
Et toi, monsieur?
Well, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Right.
I believe I already shared that, but if I didn't, there you go. And I guess now, instead of dealing with lightning, we'll shine a little light on Rob's favorite part of the universe.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you see my shirt? Can you see?
I do see your shirt. That's pretty sick.
I got this at Fan Expo. So this has given me an idea, and I want to talk to you about it after the show. But so it says choose your color, but obviously it's played out like a 16-bit fighting game. So if this was a fighting game, who would you pick?
Who would I pick?
Yeah. Who would your fighter be?
Oh, like, okay, so like no alliances, no allegiances.
No, I'm just
nothing.
talking about like this is Street Fighter but Green Lantern.
Probably Atrocitus.
Okay, so you go red. Right on. Yeah, that'd be cool.
The first thing I would play with the Green Lantern first.
Yeah.
But then my next one would be Atrocitus.
Fair enough. So keep in mind, pin that. I want to talk to you after the show about something. But that's for later. For now, it is time for Green Lantern number 15.
Well,
and
that is
this
great news.
Is written by Jeremy Adams, with pencils from Fernando Pasarin, inks from Auclair Albert, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., letters from Dave Sharp, and a beautiful cover from Ariel Colon. Right, so we pick up where we left off in Absolute Power number 3, so to speak. Hal and Wally are speeding off to not where they were told to go. Instead, Hal has taken over the bike. Exactly. Hal has taken over the bike, much to Wally's chagrin, but Wally did let him use it. And they are headed towards a secret island that Bruce had a whole bunch of hardware stashed, including a prototype plane called the Batwolf.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it was never actually used and is a prototype because, as Hal states, he was most likely, as he is saying it, we could assume that he was the test pilot for Bruce, as he Naturally, he's a fucking test pilot. But the problem with the Batwolf is while it is super silent and super fast, it reaches almost unimaginable speeds. Um, when you reach a certain speed threshold, it makes a loud humming sound and then explodes. And
Kaboom.
Bruce never got to fix that. So here they are. Hal takes the plane because he has somewhere else he needs to be, but he is going to help Wally with his mission first. After Wally finds out about this, exactly. As Wally finds out about this prototype plane potentially exploding, he's like, "Are you fucking sure, you psychopath?" But instead, they go off together. Barbara, aka Oracle, gets him to learn that Hal has entered the hangar and is stealing the prototype, but Hal has already turned off the safeguards. So they head off together regardless. Meanwhile, in Coast City, Dove of Hawk and Dove is back and is saving somebody from a car crash, which was most likely caused due to the angry rioters that are throwing a whole bunch of stuff at Dove while she's trying to save people because they're horrible people. But then Star Sapphire, Carol Ferris arrives, creates a bubble over her, and then gets Dove out of there. They have a little bit of a discussion as to what's going on because Dove was kind of out of action for a while. And as Carol says, I'm gonna take you back to the Tower of Fate to my friends. And then Dove gets a little cold and shivery and says, "I can't go there. The Lords of Order and Chaos are quiet, and everything's quiet, and everything is useless. I'm useless." And gets really, really sad, and that is when Nathan, whatever his last name is, aka Sorrow, shows up, and this was Carol's one-time fiance, who we last saw become what's potentially a Gray Lantern or a Sorrow Lantern. I'm apprehensive to even call it a lantern at this point. What did you say?
It's a Sorrow Lantern. It's got to be a Gray Lantern, right? Aren't those the same thing?
I mean, this is new, so.
Well,
my whole thing is he doesn't have a lantern.
Thing.
He doesn't have a lantern. That's the thing. I'm apprehensive to call him a lantern yet, because yes, he does have a ring, but he's shown no signs of using any light. It's mostly smoke. Right? So calling him a Gray Lantern might be a bit of a misnomer.
It could be. However, I can say that, I mean, when you get close to Larfleeze in some stories, avarice does start to come up in people. When Red Lanterns, when Atrocitus is around you, you can fall underneath the power of the rage, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, yes. I mean,
but they still use light as a weapon. That's what I mean. Like, he
just hasn't yet.
And he has. Well, he was using.
He hasn't
smoke.
Fought.
He was using smoke against Carol.
Interesting.
I'll get to that after.
Yes.
So then we jump back to Washington, D.C., where Hal and Wally are closing in on the Hall of Order. And Hal's job is to break down the front door so Wally can get in. So Hal goes over the list of weapons, thanks to the onboard computer, but there are absolutely no fucking weapons. The offensive weapon selection is as follows: smoke missiles, sonic drones, and an EMP cannon, which really won't do much. But there is a reserve Batmobile. So Hal has an idea. He gets right up close to the Hall of Order, tells Wally to get ready, and then drops the Batmobile right through the front door, crashing the wall to pieces. And then that activates the EMP cannon, which shoots all the guards down around him as Wally heads in at very quick speeds, uses Mr. Terrific's T-spheres and downloads all the info they need. But then Major Force arrives. Wally is not equipped to fight Major Force, but Hal is able to get him with a smoke missile, so Major Force takes off after Hal instead, leaving Wally to get away and return to Themyscira with the info they need, as we saw in Absolute Power number 3. We then jump over to the island nation of Gamora, where, excuse me, Jadestone and Alan Scott are having a little conversation about Jadestone's own willpower and free will and what this all means. And Alan, being ever the mentor, says that this all means you have choice now. You know what it is within you. You just have to figure it out. And you have to decide with this free will if you want to follow your programming, which tells you to hurt and potentially kill, or if you want to do the good thing, do good for people and help instead. And that is what's going to give you your meaning, and that's what the willpower will give you. But as he gets to the end of that, Jadestone gets an alert that Hal Jordan has broken into the Hall of Order, or has attacked the Hall of Order, and Amanda Waller is dispatching countermeasures, and she requests that Jadestone joins them, so he heads off. Then we jump back to Coast City, where Nate and Carol are having a conversation in the sky, and this is where you see there is nothing but smoke around him. There is a blast of something that could be light, but ultimately he's just using smoke. Smoke kind of crowds Carol's body and face, and that attempts to infect her with sorrow and basically depression, and feeling the weight and guilt of leaving him behind for Hal. But she blasts it away with a burst of purple light, violet light rather. Nate asks why, after all this time and after all the heartbreak, do you still go back to him? And she says, because I love him, and that's what causes the blast of violet light. And she's able to push him off, and then he flies away, screaming that he will never love again. And after I'm done, you won't either. So we don't know where he's going next, but now Dove has snapped out of it. Carol's okay, but she leaves Dove to herself, I guess, because then she goes off to find Hal. Hal, meanwhile, is flying as fast as he can to get away from Major Force, but he does have a destination, and that is the island that houses the giant power battery on Earth, so he can recharge his ring. He's able to get away ever so slightly. Major Force closes in on him, but then he gets the afterburners going. Just as Major Force is coming up on the burners, he lets it loose, and then he goes super fucking fast. Major Force is almost just about able to catch up, but then Jadestone arrives, and instead of taking out Hal, instead takes out Major Force. And as he says out loud, I have my orders are countermanded. I have made my choice. So thanks to Alan, he's decided to be a force for good. But that is when the alarm goes off and makes a humming noise, and the plane is about to explode because Hal just put this thing to its limit. So he ejects into the sky, but it does not have a parachute, and he doesn't have any charge in his ring. But luckily, he is able to fall directly into the hole where the giant power battery is. And he starts to speak the oath as quickly as he can, but it's just not enough time. And he figures this is it. He's dead. But then he's caught by Jadestone, who lets him down gently. And they have a little discussion as Hal recharges his ring, that Jadestone has changed his mind, and the Starheart he absorbed has given him a will of his own. And that Alan Scott is the one that presented all these compelling reasons to follow his own choice. And also the place that they are in right now, where the giant power battery on Earth speaks to him. And this is where it gets really interesting. He says, it speaks to me, it asks me to become its protector, like a Tom was before me. A Tom Kalmaku, potentially. I think almost definitely. And as Hal says, yes, Tom Kalmaku, maybe this thing is the new battery, is the battery's new guardian. Which, that is dope.
That is super dope. I really dig that.
Yeah, that's
it's like
really
an
cool.
Earth Battery Guardian.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm okay with.
As Tom showed up in this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was right. That's right. I forgot Tom was in this. I think when they were on the expedition to this island or something like that.
He was the keeper of that
Right.
place. Like he already knew about it.
Yeah. Right, so that was interesting. Then Hal recharges his ring, suits up again, and that's when Carol arrives, and they both, with their own text boxes, feel relieved that they're both okay, and they share a kiss. Carol reveals that she's able to find him wherever he is if she concentrates, or if he's in trouble, most likely due to her connection through the Star Sapphire power. But after everything she's seen and done, she reveals to Hal that she finally gets it, that being a hero is sacrifice, and she's beginning to see why it is what he does and why he has to run off every second of the day, and that maybe she wants to do it too and be a hero. And then they fly off together, onwards to Absolute Power number 4, and then after that, Green Lantern Civil Corps Special coming next month.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. We also say, I didn't notice this at first because I was too busy looking at Hal and Carol flying off together, but you see Jadestone sitting at the battery holding a giant emerald sword. Where the hell did he get that sword?
Maybe he can make constructs?
Maybe. But it's also like comically giant, like
ridiculously so.
Like he'd be the Pinky holding that sword. That's hilarious.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
that was cool.
He's been given heart, but I'm sure that the rest of the programming from Waller's still there.
We'll see.
Which
we'll
is
see. Like, here's the thing.
Definitely going to give him some insecurities.
So, in Absolute Power number 3, Waller talks to Failsafe and says all of these robots or some of them robots, some of the Amazos are having some technical difficulties, and Amazo or Failsafe gives them a quick reboot and says everything's green now, everything's good. So that's got to happen to Jadestone at some point, I imagine, right? Like, I would love to see Jadestone stick around and be the guardian of this lantern.
Unless he can't reach him because of
the willpower.
Yeah.
I mean, end of the day, the Starheart energy is within him. So even if his programming is rebooted, I imagine the Starheart energy will supersede that program, regardless, because that's how it happened anyway.
That's what I'm hoping.
Right? With Velocity, it was a case of he just wanted to learn, and Barry Allen was helping him learn. And that programming reset kind of just got rid of that curiosity. But with Jadestone, the Starheart is 100% influencing him and saying that he has free will, which is very interesting. But at the end of that, though, like if Jadestone has the Starheart, that means Alan Scott does not. So is Alan Scott going to continue being Green Lantern?
Oh, damn.
You know?
No, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens there. But before we get too deep into our review of that book, I'll just give a quick look at the backup. It's Green Lantern War Journal Epilogue, The Family Business. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art from Montos, colors from Adriano Lucas, and letters from Dave Sharp. This is a brief little story in Metropolis outside Steelworks, where Ellie and John have been helping the Irons finish their monorail. And they finish it just in time for Ellie to take it for a little quick test drive. But then Natasha sees some machines, robots, or whatever they are, on the tracks, and they don't belong to Steelworks. So John heads off on the tracks, flying super fast and telling Ellie to get off the track, stop the train. Ellie tells him it's okay. John's not used to the idea that his younger sister not only is with him, but also still made of construct energy, has power of her own. John, and Natasha. Green Lantern, Steel, and Steel. You know what I mean. The three of them. Yeah. They all...
I love it when heroes have the same name.
They all together take care of the robots, which John Henry reveals. Where did he reveal it? That they belong to Charlie Walker, an industrialist who has it out for Steelworks, who, if I remember right, he was in the Steelworks miniseries. He was like one of the villains there.
Yes, he was the villain.
Yeah. Walker is out to get Steel still, but they take care of the robots, but they have destroyed a part of the track, and Ellie uses her own construct energy to fix the track, and the train continues as normal. And that's when John is able to breathe a sigh of relief and reveals to Steel that he's still not used to the idea that his sister, while it's not really her, is also pure energy and is able to like do things. And they have a little discussion about fighting alongside family. But then John Henry also reveals something that John Stewart might not have known, that when Natasha and Superman came back from Waterworld, they brought 2 refugee kids with them, and one had the power of an old god inside him. Much like how John came back from deep space wearing an ancient ring with the power of an old god inside that. So...
Connecting?
Maybe. That is where it ends for now. As Steel says, I can't tell what's in your future, Green Lantern, but I think it's going to be big. And that is also to be continued in the Green Lantern Civil Corps special. He still has the Dark Star ring. He still has his Green Lantern ring. And now John has a clue as to this old god power. Maybe, just maybe, he should talk to Superman. We shall see what's going to happen next. I, for one, cannot wait for the Civil Corps special. I know Brandon can't wait either. I'm super stoked. Josh, I can only imagine you are too. Yeah. It's going to be fucking good.
There's no way that it can be bad. And I mean, I don't mean to sound
a way,
ridiculous.
But
I mean, it could be. Yes,
could be a bit stupid, but I don't think it's going to be.
I just would have such a hard time believing that it. If somebody got a preview issue, told me it sucked, I'd tell them, yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's no
Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson. I don't think there's a possible, like, I know I said there's always a chance, but I don't think it's possible for it to be bad the way things are right now.
No.
We love Jeremy Adams. We love Philip Kennedy Johnson around here.
Yep. Because they do good shit.
Exactly.
Fantastic shit. As far as Green Lantern goes for me, in this issue, okay, so like there's war, there's violence, there's the reappearance of a brutal murderer, but it's a real feel-good story.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's funny when I say that, but it really does have like this feel-good vibe to it. It's very strange. The power of the Starheart is growing in Jade Stone. Some mysteries around it, perhaps. I mean, obviously, it can give sentience. It's developed this strange bond between Hal and Carol that can't quite explain yet. That where Carol feels like she can feel him.
Well, that's
however she put it. Not related to the Starheart, but it's a classic thing. But it's being brought up, and it's being brought up as a mystery, and that only is leading me to believe that it's something that's actually going to be addressed.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, I kind of just brushed that aside as like, yeah, that's like
That's how they've always
Star
been.
Sapphire thing. Yeah, she's drawn to him because she loves him. Yeah, it could be something else too.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be brought up for sure.
Yeah. I'm positive.
So there's that. There's the Helen Carroll. There's a lot of big stuff going on. I'm fucking excited. It is like the perfect time to be a Green Lantern fan.
Oh hell yeah!
There's just no getting around it. And as far as the backup goes, I mean, it's cool. I guess it's just the final answer about the women in his life.
Yeah.
You know, his mom being his ring AI now is sick. I really dig that. You called that right. That's gonna lead to some interesting conversation and probably some funny moments with John Stewart books could use. Ellie is really neat. They do address that, you know, she's becoming something different, something more. A construct that can make her own construct. So is she still just a construct? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, she's gaining a level of sentience that's never been seen before in a construct, which is wild.
John has become the Godhead, right? Is that what it was called?
Well, it was the Godstorm.
Godstorm.
Yeah.
And infused with Olgren's powers and harnessing the oh, for crying out loud.
Darkstar.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I kept on wanting to say Darkhold, and that wasn't
it.
Goddamn Sony Films. He's been exposed and just like steeped in all of this seriously powerful shit, man.
Yeah.
The point, he don't even need his own lantern ring anymore. He can make it, right? I wonder if he made life somehow.
Could be.
It'll be really interesting to see where they go with that.
Which, I'll be honest with you, and I this is what I'm hoping for, that if John does try to get to the bottom of what's going on with Ellie, one person he talks to, I'm hoping, is Simon Baz. Because this would be an ability that they have both done, and as far as I know, are the only two Green Lanterns that have ever done that, have created or brought life using a Green Lantern ring. Specifically green. Obviously, White Lanterns can do it, but when it comes to specifically
but no, as
green,
far as green, I think you're
John and Simon.
I don't even know why I'm like sitting here, like that's stupid. If it's Green Lantern shit, I should just accept what you're telling me.
Don't always do that,
like,
because there's still a good chunk in the Silver Age that I don't quite know.
No, you ain't talking about that right now.
But yeah, no, that's that. Like, I want him to talk to Simon about it, because that is a plot point that Jeff Johns left open that I've been waiting for someone to pick up. Right? That was never addressed again. That Simon brought his brother-in-law out of a coma just with the willpower from his Green Lantern ring. A ring that wasn't even realistically his because it was broken.
Right.
Or technically. Realistically it was. Technically it wasn't. But that's besides the point. I just want that to happen if they decide to run with that. But we'll see what happens. But that's John. That was a very short story for the backup. It really was just an epilogue to War Journal leading into the Civil Corps special. The main story, I completely agree with everything you said about Hal and Carol. I honestly, for one, I was rooting for Cowgirl to make a return. I am one of the few that liked the Cowgirl Hal Jordan relationship. I thought that was a nice mix. I thought they were a good mix, but it was never to be. Let's face it, Hal and Carol were always going to be the thing eventually. And here they are. They're back together, and I'm happy about that. It was a nice way to do it. It felt good. Sucks for Nate, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, just a little bit, huh?
Realistically, I guess Carol now has her own villain.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Heart and Sorrow, yeah.
Do we have a Star Sapphire one-shot or miniseries coming up soon?
Perhaps? Not that I know of, but I don't...
Well, I'm not saying it's announced. I'm saying, like, do you think it could happen?
I think... I'm still leaning toward whatever is going on with Kyle being something that's, like, huge and massive.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's addressed in the Civil War special.
I really think it... Oh, it better be. But, so I really... Wait, hold on. Sorry. What was your question again?
Do you think there could be a Star Sapphire one-shot or miniseries in the future?
I think so, and I think it's because I think we're looking at a new kind of core, a new alliance, a new Lantern team, and yeah. I do think that Kyle is going to be some form of White Lantern or Rainbow Lantern, or somebody's going to throw a lightning bolt at him and turn him into Ion again. Something is going to happen.
Yeah. Now, can I throw a bone into the speculation for you? Now that you said Ion?
Sure.
This is technically a spoiler from Solicit for later on, but doesn't really give you anything. All it says in the Solicit about Carol, I think for the newest issue in November, is she'll be going up against I think it said villain from her past.
So Cowgirl.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people were trying to figure that out, what that could mean, and myself and others came to the conclusion, if it's not Nate, and they're just giving us a patsy, it could be Predator.
Oh, tell me more.
Which, as we all remember, Predator ended up being one of the entities.
Yes.
Parallax is still out there somewhere. Supposedly. Right?
Well, yeah.
Green Lantern's first story arc, the Rage Seed, planet Earth had a seed put into it that was supposed to give birth to a new Butcher.
I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, that never got picked up again either. Right? And yeah, Kyle could be leading towards being a new Ion again, but we'll see. There's so many different directions Kyle could be going in right now. We'll just have to see what happens.
A ridiculous amount.
Oh god, yeah.
Direction.
So that's the one thing about this pause for Absolute Power that I didn't like, but I understand, is that we didn't get to see anything of what's going on Oa. We saw a little bit last month. We got a brief 2 or 3 pages with Tharos, but we didn't see anything of the rest of the core with Joe or Simon or
what the hell's going
Jessica
on with
or
Kelly?
Anything. That was annoying for me because I was really invested in what was going in there, but at the same time I understand it because this time was split between Hal, Carol, and Alan, and those 3 were the main focus of the story here, and I completely get that. So that makes sense to me. I'm not annoyed about that. If anything, I'm just bummed. But it definitely sounds like Civil War Special is going to be chock full of what's going on Oa. So I'm excited to see what happens there.
An Earth-based Lantern Corps a civil corps made up of all kinds of, like a team of all these different people from different spectrums. I'm excited. I feel like nothing's really been done on a scale that would be long lasting, anything remotely close to that. And
Yeah.
it's an exciting time.
Like, we had the new Guardians for a while, twice, even technically 3 times, 3 different groups of new Guardians, and I liked it every time because it was one lantern from each corps, right? And the original, quote unquote, original new Guardians during Jeff Johns' tenure was the 6 realistically leaders of the respective corps and Hal Jordan,
Right.
and that team was really cool. But like you said, like, it wasn't meant to last. None of them ever really were. But this could be a major change.
There's just been so much that's gone on that anything other than a major change going on with the Lantern Corps just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, everything has been obliterated. So much has fucking changed. I really think that there's not going to be like a return to Oa, the Guardians are back, everything is reset kind of thing going on. It just doesn't have that feeling.
Yeah.
Am I insane?
No.
So what do you think?
Wait, sorry, what was your feeling?
That there's no going back to how it was before.
Oh, no,
previous...
definitely not. Like, it would take a lot to bring it back to whatever the previous status quo was. The thing about the previous status quo was after Jeff Johns, the status quo changed every year. it was ever cycling. So there really wasn't a proper status quo. Like, it had Jeff Johns finish his run with the Guardians turning 100% evil and unleashing the Third Army, and then getting murdered by Sinestro. And then the new status quo was the Templar Guardians. And then the Templar Guardians got a little too full of themselves, and some of them went rogue. And then they died. And then we had Baby Guardians. And then they died. And then we had no Guardians. The status quo was ever changing.
I basically meant really like a Guardian or like an Owen-based Lantern Corps.
Yeah.
That
was like, for a while they were on Mogo.
Well, yeah, right.
For a while, Hal was the corps leader. Then for a while, John was the corps leader. Then for a while, they didn't have a corps leader. For a while,
yeah,
like none of them were even in this universe. Like, it was all over the fucking place. But I get what you mean, like, to bring it back to something from simpler times, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't
think we've got a battery on Earth and a secret cave with a brand new protector for it. We've got a number of lanterns out there that we haven't seen what's been going on. We've got Simon Baz, we've got Joe, we've got Kelly. Jessica Cruz is out there
being a spy.
And yeah, I keep on wanting to say the outer world in the United Planets.
Yeah.
And then Hale and John are all off, and Kyle are all off on their other side. Guy is all by him, or no, he just got with John. I feel like
and then there's Shepard.
Oh yeah, and we don't know if he stuck around or not.
Which I hope he did.
So I mean, I feel like at the very least we're looking at the beginning, like an Earth-based Lantern team. Like a Lantern Justice League.
Yeah.
We're looking at some new form of Lantern team that we've not seen before.
Led by, well, not led, but guarded by an Amazo.
Yeah.
With the power of the Starheart. Like, as a status quo, that does sound interesting. Yeah.
Right? That's
I don't know about
want.
a core of just Earth-based lanterns. Obviously, the ones we already have would be included. That'd be cool. But
Yeah, I want more. That would be cool. Some
Earth
indigo
as their base to send out more Green Lantern rings, and that is like the Green Lantern core, as it used to be, gets reborn on Earth.
I would even be down with like a
Colors,
unification
right?
core. Yeah, like
Yeah,
if we find out
with
like
the
that
emotional
battery
spectrum
on
being in
Earth,
shambles,
there's
as
no
it is,
telling
like,
what's gonna fucking happen.
Exactly.
Like that battery may be able to charge any kind of ring.
It could. Because
There's
I will
so
also
many
drop
possibilities. It's
another
driving me crazy.
lore bomb on you. If y'all remember Brightest Day and Blackest Night,
Yeah.
do you remember what resided inside the Earth? It was the entity.
Oh.
The White Lantern entity.
Yeah.
Called the Entity. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's got to be going white again. He has to be. He has to be.
So we shall see. There's so many questions and so many directions this could go. I just know I'm super stoked to see what Jeremy Adams, Philip Kennedy Johnson have planned for us. I was so fucking stoked. I can't wait for October. But for now, this issue, fuck it, 9.25.
Hell yeah. Indeed. Oh, I don't think I gave my score. But I gave this an 8.75 out of 10.
Right on.
So I guess that leaves us right up to the top 3, eh?
Certainly does, eh?
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
If I slip back into Michigan, you don't get to rub it in my face.
I'm talking Canadian. What the fuck?
Don't do that.
I'm Canadian.
Do better.
All
right, Mike.
If you can say A and hate it, I can say A and love it.
That's not how this works, Rob.
I've been doing it my whole life.
You've been doing it wrong.
You're wrong.
All right, my top 3 is going to be, and I'm not counting Nightwing Uncovered because, I mean,
it's just a gallery.
It's a gallery.
Yeah.
But
cool as it is, it's
beautiful as it is.
It's an art gallery.
Yep. So number 3 is going to go to Shazam. Number 15, or no, excuse me. Number 3 is going to go to Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age. Number 2 is going to go to Shazam number 15, and number 1 is going to go to Green Lantern number 15.
Hell yeah.
With my favorite moment being seeing Hal deploy a Batmobile from Batwolf. It just looked great.
That was going to be mine.
Well, we can share the same one.
Yeah. I do have another one. Anyway, so for me, number 3 will be Batman and Robin. Number 13. Number 2 will be Shazam number 15. And number 1 will be from the DC Vault, Robin Lives, number 4. Or 3.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is.
I didn't know you were reading those.
I'm not. No, it's Green Lantern number 15 is number 1. I just wanted to see what your reaction would be. Green Lantern just not making my top 3 at all.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, you looked a little confused.
It wasn't making any sense.
I was expecting you to go, "What the fuck, Rob?" But I was wrong.
I guess it took a second for it. It broke
especially since I started with
me.
Batman and Robin being number 3 and Green Lantern not making my top 3, I was expecting yelling.
Oh, I said, what?
But no, Green Lantern number 15 is my number 1 book. Of course, scored the highest. Which my backup favorite moment will also be from Green Lantern, of course. This time, Hal in the Batwolf talking to Oracle, and she just figures out everything he's doing, and he's like, "Yep, bye."
Bye.
So, I got this. Yeah. She was like, fine. Yeah. Classic Hal. Classic Hal. Alright, so
Classic Hal.
for now, that is our books, and that is our show.
Indeed it is. Thank you everyone for watching and or listening. You know, you're really missing out if you're just listening, because we're really pretty people. We'll be back next week
Especially
covering...
that mustache.
Shut your face.
You
God
know I had to
damn it.
say it after you said that. Come
Ruined
on.
it.
Every time I say you have a nice mustache, you rub your face and cover it up.
It's just stop it. I don't like...
You just did it again.
Because the only reason why it's here is because Holly says she wants it. So
But it is a nice looking mustache.
great. We will be back next week. My mustache will be too, covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel, and that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. We're going to sit here and watch you leave. So
You can watch him leave. I'm going to be watching that mustache.
he's not making it weird. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.
This from the guy saying, "I'm going to watch you leave." By the way, peace.